Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this webinar. We are here with you from DBCom Technology, value-added distributor for Dretec. With me, we have Sesu, who is expert in Dretec, and he will take you through complete technical aspect of Dretec routers. Also, he will show you live how to configure Dretec routers and how to do troubleshooting for that. So we are DBCom Technology, established in 2007. We are here in this market for more than 10 years. We are a value-added distributor for many products and solutions. We have Dretec, which is networking product. Along with that, we have Yelink, we have YesStar, we have Tuan, we have Milesite, we have Equox. So all these brands, we add value to these brands and we sell in this market. If you have any requirement for these brands, let us know. We are into complete IP telephony, video conferencing, Microsoft Teams devices, Zoom rooms, and also we have access control and surveillance solutions. So thank you very much for your time. And if you have anything, any questions or any query, you can type it there. You can see icon on your screen, question and answer icon. So you can type it there. If you have any other details that you need that is not addressed in this webinar, in that case, you can write down to us at sales@datawise.com or support@datawise.com. Thank you very much. Over to Mr. Sesu.
Thank you, Keshu. Thanks for attending this webinar, guys. And at the end of this session, we have a Q&A session. If you have any questions, you can just post it there. So today's our webinar is that introduction of your Dretec routers, and let's go and see what's the agenda that we are going to discuss today. The first one is that we are going to discuss about the Dretec portfolio, and we are going to choose why we need to choose the Dretec router, and we are going to discuss about the layer 2 design and layer 3 design. So basically, what is the purpose of the Dretec router, and what are the real-time scenarios that we are going to see today? And before that, I'm going to give you some brief idea about the Dretec portfolio. Let's go and have a look. By the way, my audio is audible. Is it audible, guys? My voice? Is it clear for everybody? Okay, let's go and start the Dretec portfolio. So in the Dretec, we have a different models. And basically the first one is that there is a SOHO, small office and home office. And we have a small and medium business. And we have a high performance VPN gateways. So if you go with SOHO routers, we have a two types is available. The first one is that ADSL and VDSL. Basically the ADSL and VDSL in this region, we don't have our service provider, they don't support the ADSL or VDSL. They are not going to provide the internet connection as ADSL or VDSL. We are going to get the internet connection from Etisalat or do the broadband connection. So we have a SOHO routers which can support the broadband, and we have a small business routers which support the broadband connection, and we have a medium size, and we have a high performance VPN gateways. Let's go and see what are the SOHO routers are available in Dretec. The first one is that we have a Vigor LTE 200N. Whenever you see that LTE, which means it's going to support the SIM, you can insert the SIM, and through your SIM, you can able to configure your 4G, and you can able to access your internet. On top of this, you have a gigabit Ethernet interface, which is going to terminate your WAN connection directly, and it has a built-in LTE modem. And by default, it's going to support 30,000 NAT sessions, and you can able to configure 2 VPN. And by default, it supports the Wi-Fi, so that you can able to configure the SSID, but this Wi-Fi is going to support the Wi-Fi end technology. So this is especially if you have a home purpose, if you have a small business, you can go and use this router. And we have another router, which is Vigor 2915, and you can able to terminate the 2 internet connections, and it's going to support up to 30,000 NAT sessions, and you can able to configure up to 16 VPNs, and it supports Wi-Fi 5 technology. So you can able to configure multiple SSIDs. And the same router is going to act as your wireless access point as well. And if you go with Vigor 2135 series, it's by default, it comes with one WAN interface, and it supports up to 50,000 NAT sessions and 2 concurrent VPNs. And you can able to configure wireless access SSIDs as well. And it supports Wi-Fi 5. And we have another model, which is Vigor 2133 series. And you can able to terminate your internet connection directly. And it supports 3G or 4G as a backup. And it supports up to 30,000 NAT sessions and 2 concurrent VPNs. And by default, you can able to, this router is going to act as your Wi-Fi access point. So in case if you want to configure SSID, you can able to configure it as well. And it supports Wi-Fi 5 technology. And if you go with the small business broadband routers, we have a 2927 and we have a 2926. In 2927, you can terminate up to 2 internet connections, and it supports up to 60,000 NAT sessions and 50 concurrent VPNs, and you can configure multiple SSIDs, and it supports Wi-Fi 5 technology. And if you go with 2927 LTE, and it has a built-in LTE modem, and you can terminate 2 internet connections, and it supports up to 60,000 NAT sessions and 50 concurrent VPNs, so you can able to configure it, and you can configure multiple SSIDs, and it's going to support Wi-Fi 5 technology. And again, if you go with 2926, and you can able to terminate 2 internet connections and 50,000 NAT sessions and 50 concurrent VPN, and you can able to configure multiple SSIDs, and it's going to support Wi-Fi 5. And we have one more router, which is Vigor 2926. It has a built-in LTE modem, and you can able to terminate multiple internet connections, and it supports up to 50,000 NAT sessions and 50 concurrent VPNs, and you can able to configure multiple SSIDs for your Wi-Fi access, and it supports Wi-Fi 5. We have a medium-sized business routers, which is especially Vigor 3220. And you can able to terminate up to 4 internet connections, and it supports up to 100,000 NAT sessions, and you can able to configure 200 VPNs. And again, if you go with Vigor 2962, it supports up to 4 internet connections. You can able to terminate it, and you can able to do the load balancing between them. And it has a combo port as well. Combo port is nothing but it has a fiber and copper port is there. In case if you want to use the fiber, you can able to use it, which is going to support 1 gig, and it supports up to 300,000 NAT sessions, and you can able to configure 200 concurrent VPNs. And again, we have a 2952P, which is going to support 1 WAN connection, and it has a combo port as well. And the combo port, either you can use it as a fiber or you can able to use it as a copper, which is 1 gig. And remaining the ports, which is a PoE, you can able to connect the PoE devices. And it's going to support up to 60,000 NAT sessions, and you can able to configure 200 concurrent VPNs. And we have a Vigor 2952. The major difference between P and without P, the P is going to support the PoE ports, and 2952, it doesn't support the PoE ports. And it has a 1 WAN port, which is the copper port, and another one is the fiber or copper, you can able to use it, which is the combo port. And you can able to configure up to 200 VPN connections, and it supports up to 60,000 NAT sessions. And especially this router is good for medium-sized business. If you want to go with high performance VPN gateway, we have a Vigor 3910, and by default, it's going to support up to 8 WAN connections. And out of 8 WAN connections, 6 ports are the copper ports, and 2 ports belongs to the fiber. And it's going to support up to 1 million NAT sessions and 500 concurrent VPNs you can able to configure it. Especially this is for SME, small and medium enterprise level. This is the best router you can able to use it. And it's going to support the load balancing, and it has a lot of features. And those features we are going to discuss in upcoming slides. So first thing is that why to choose DRETEC? Because most of the people, they are going to have this concern. Why we need to go with this router, and what are the real-time scenarios, and how we are going to choose the router, and which features the customers are expecting. So based on that, what I have done, I have prepared a couple of slides so that it will help you out to understand the customer requirement, and based on that, you can able to build the proper BOQ to your customer. And the first one is that let's go and see what are the real-time scenarios. The first one, if it is a small deployment and the customer planning to connect 3 to 4 devices along with one internet connection and wireless AP, how you are going to connect usually? So basically, if you go with if you go with the travel agencies, or if you go with small supermarkets and all, they just want to connect only 2-3 devices. So that time what we will do in the regularly, we are going to do like this. So we are going to have a router and we are going to have a switch, and we are going to connect all our end devices to the switch. From the switch, we are going to connect to the router. The router is connecting to the internet. So this is what the generally we are going to connect. But if you go with the DRETEC solution, it's very simple. You just buy the router. You don't need to buy the switch. Why? Because in the DRETEC, by default, all the LAN interfaces is going to act as a switch. So that what you can do, whenever you are going to purchase a DRETEC router, it has a WAN port and it has a LAN ports. By default, all the LAN ports is going to act as a switch. So that what you can do, you can connect your end devices directly to this switch ports. Then after that, you can terminate your internet connection. At the same time, the DRETEC router is going to act as your wireless access point, so that you can able to configure your SSIDs in the same router, so that you don't need to buy a switch. So this is very good solution, especially whenever if you are going with very small deployment, like 3 to 4 devices. If you want to connect, you just buy a router. That's it. So that the router is going to support your Wi-Fi. The router is going to support, it's going to act as a switch. And same time, you can terminate your internet connection. So that's the solution from the DRETEC. So if you have any of your customers, if they are planning to go with a small deployment, then you can choose a simple router. You don't need to buy a switch. The next scenario is that if it is a small deployment and the customer planning to isolate the guest traffic. So this is commonly most of the people I heard from, every day I used to get your calls. So people, they used to ask me, I need to separate my guest traffic. For example, whoever come to my office as a guest, I don't want to allow to access my internal network resources. So that time, how I'm going to isolate. For example, if you want to go with different vendors, mostly they don't support the VLANs and all. But if you see the DRETEC solution is very straightforward and simple. So basically in the DRETEC router, what you can do, inside the router itself, you can able to configure multiple VLANs. So as I told you that if you want to use it as a single switch, all the LAN interfaces, you can use it as a single switch. In case if you want to divide each and every interface into different VLAN, you can able to do it. It's very easy and no need to pay extra amount. It's purely license free. So that what you can do, if you see here on my screen, there is a port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, and port number 5. So that port number 1, I'm going to keep it in the default VLAN, and I'm going to connect all my internal network devices. And port number 5, I'm going to isolate from the default LAN into the different LAN, so that all the guest people, they are going to connect into port number 5. So that whoever comes to my office as a guest, they are going to get the IP address from 192.168.20, and I'm going to isolate their traffic to access my internal network, so that I can provide the additional security. So here, you don't provide any kind of extra licenses, nothing. Simply what you can do, you can able to keep each and every interface into different network, so that you can avoid the communication from one interface to another interface. So this is the beautiful solution. Most of the people, they used to ask, so that you can able to achieve this, so that you can able to isolate your guest traffic by creating a separate networks for each and every. After that, you can able to separate your physical interfaces into different network. And if you see on my screen, then if you want to separate it, you just go to the VLAN configuration, which belongs to the LAN segment. Then after that, if you see here, port number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and SSID 1, 2, and 3. And if you go with SSIDs, you can able to configure 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and SSID 1 and 2 and 3, and in 2.4, SSID 1, 2, and 3 in 5 gigahertz, or belongs to LAN number 1. And if you see here, port number 5, I have isolated, I separated, and I assigned to LAN 2. So the LAN 2 belongs to my guest network, and LAN 1 belongs to my internal network. This is how you are going to isolate. In some cases, if you want to carry all the traffic from the single interface. For example, if you see here, I have created here 2 separate interfaces. One interface I'm going to use for my internal network, another interface I'm going to use it for my guest network. But some cases, people, they're going to ask you, does your router is going to support the VLAN tagging? Can you able to carry the multiple VLANs information from this single interface, whether it's possible or not. You can say that it's going to possible. If you see here, right now there is a port number 1, which is connected on my layer 2 switch, and I have tagged VLAN number 10 and VLAN number 20. Through VLAN number 10 and 20, I can able to carry multiple VLANs information on port number 1. Then after that, I can able to tag all my VLANs. If you see there, port number 1, I have tagged VLAN number 10 and VLAN number 20. So that through single interface, what you can do, you can able to carry multiple VLANs information. So basically this concept, we can call it as a router on stick. So some people, they may ask you, this is actually the big vendors, they are going to support these features. So you nothing to worry, any kind of, if you take any DRETEC router, by default, it's going to support the VLAN tagging. So that in case if in your layer 2 switch, if you configure the multiple VLANs, you can tag all these VLANs through the single interface, and you can send the information to DRETEC, the router. The router is going to act as a gateway for each and every VLAN, and the router is connected to the internet. From there, you can send your information to the internet. And there is another question. If the customer planning to have 2 internet connections, and internal traffic should go from ISP1 and guest traffic should go from ISP2. So most of the people, they used to ask this question. Basically, for guest people, we don't want to give our internet because we have taken a separate internet connection for the guest, and we have taken separate internet connection for our internal staff. Is it possible? Can we route the traffic? For example, internal traffic should go from ISP1 and guest traffic should go from ISP2. Yes, in DRETEC, you can able to do that. Right now, if you see here, I have terminated the 2 internet connections. And let's say that internal traffic, which belongs to VLAN number 10, and the guest traffic, which belongs to VLAN number 20. So in the DRETEC, we have a policy-based routing. We can call it as a route policy. Based on the policy-based routing, you can able to route your traffic based on your source information. For example, when the traffic is coming from VLAN number 10, I can write a policy, go through ISP1. Whenever the traffic coming from VLAN number 20, go through this traffic from ISP2. So you can able to achieve this by going to the routing, and you can see there load balance or route policy. Just you can select the route policy. Then after that, you can create your profile. While you are going to create the profile, it will ask you what is the profile name and which protocol you are going to use. And it's going to ask you which source address. For example, let's say here, the source is that 192.168.20 network. So when the traffic is coming from the guest network, which is 192.168.20, I'm going to route this traffic through WAN 2. So that's why if you see here, I have selected as a WAN 2. And this is my network. When the traffic coming from the guest network, always it's going to use ISP2. And for ISP1, by default, it will go through, my internal traffic will go through ISP1. So you can able to achieve through policy-based routing. This is one of the very important feature. Most of the people, they're going to ask this. And next one is that if the customer planning to have 2 internet connections and he wants to do the load balance. So this is also one more question, guys. Most of the time I have seen a lot of people, they used to ask, does your router support load balancing? Why? Because in the olden days, most of the time, people, if they have 2 internet connection, at the time, only one connection is going to work. Whenever the primary connection is down, then automatically the traffic is going through the secondary connection. So it doesn't do the load balancing. But the purpose is that whenever if you have 2 internet connection, if you combine together, you will get a more bandwidth so that, you can have a more throughput as well. So if you see here, by default in the DRETEC router, you can combine multiple internet connections. And by default, it's going to support IP-based and session-based. You can able to do the load balancing as like based on the IP or based on the session. So you can able to do it as well. So that is the one of the very good feature. The first one is that the policy-based, and second one is that load balancing. So through the load balancing, you can combine multiple internet connections. And after combine, you can able to use it as a IP-based or you can use it as a session-based. So this is one of the very good feature. And if the customer is planning to provide internet access through hotspot or for guest users, as you know that if you visit any shopping malls or if you visit any restaurants, people, they're going to provide the internet access. So let's see what are the ways you can able to provide the internet access to your guest. So the first thing is that in the DRETEC, you can create multiple profiles. So the first method is that skip. So skip is nothing but, for example, you just visit to any coffee shop, or if you visit any restaurant, or if you visit any shopping mall, just you can connect the open SSID, which means whenever you are trying to access the Wi-Fi, it doesn't have any password or anything. Just you can connect. Then after that, you can access the internet directly. The second one is Qlik. Qlik is nothing but, for example, if you create a profile with the login method as a Qlik. Qlik is nothing but I can able to write welcome to so and so, and you can able to advertise some information there. Then people, once they connected to the open SSID, they can able to read all this information. Then after that, they just click on the link. Then automatically they can able to access the internet. The other one is that pin code. So pin code is nothing but, for example, whenever you are trying to access the internet, the moment it's going to open the page, once it's open the page, you are going to enter your details like your name, your mobile number and all. The moment when you enter the mobile number, when you click submit, automatically you'll get a pin code. By getting this pin code, you can able to use the internet. After that, the Facebook login. So the Facebook login is nothing but whenever you are trying to access the internet, it will ask you whether you want to use your Google or Facebook. So the moment when you select the Facebook, then automatically it's going to redirect to the Facebook page. There you can enter your username and password. From there, you can able to access your internet. Or else if you want the Radius, you can able to do it as well. For the Radius, you need to integrate your Radius server with your DRETEC device. Then after that, whenever you are trying to access the internet, it's going to ask you the username and password. And that username and password, if you enter it, then you can able to access the internet. That's it. So these are the method which is going to support. So far, you don't need to go with a separate hotspot device. The same DRETEC router is going to act as your hotspot server. So you can able to configure skip, or you can able to configure Qlik, or you can able to configure pin code, Facebook or Google and Radius. There is a multiple profiles you can able to configure according to your requirement. And same time, you can able to do advertisement for your products as well. And second thing is that this is the regular scenario, guys. If the customer planning to access a internal NVR from outside, for example, managers and all, they want to know what's going on in the office. So they want to see, most of the offices you will find there is a cameras. And people, they used to ask, I want to access my camera from outside. Let's say manager is at home and you want to see what people are doing in the office. That time, how you are going to allow. So we have a very nice feature in the DRETEC. You can able to do the port redirection, or you can able to do the port forwarding. So simply what you can do, you can just go to the section of NAT. There you can select the port redirection. Then after that, you can able to specify which private IP. Let's say here in my layout, if you see there, we have an NVR, which is the IP address as 192.168.1.100, and the port number is 8088. So simply in my DRETEC router, what can I do? I just create one profile, and inside that profile, I'm going to mention my private IP along with the port number, so that when the traffic is coming from the internet, then immediately it's going to hit my DRETEC router. Then my DRETEC router is going to check which device has to be forward and which port has to be forward. Since I'm going to enable this port and I'm going to enable for this IP, so that the people who is sitting from outside, they can able to access it. So this is one of the beautiful feature. And second one is that in case if you want to allow multiple port numbers. Right now, if you see here in this scenario, I just allowed only one port, but some people, they may request you, they need to allow multiple ports. So that time what you can do, simply you can able to go here, go to the NAT session and select the open ports, and you can able to select the multiple ports. For example, if you see here, maybe some customers, they have a requirement like they want to access different servers with multiple ports. That time what you can do is just go to the NAT session and click on the open ports. And in the edit open ports, you just type the IP address of that server or IP address of the device. Then after that, whatever ports you want to open, you can able to open it. In my scenario, if you see here, port number 8088 and port number 8072. So these two ports I'm going to open for 192.168.1.100. So similarly, as per your requirement, you can able to open the multiple ports. Why? Because if you go with some other vendors, there is a lot of things you need to do it, like a virtual IP concept is there. And after that, you need to create a policy for that. There is a lot of things. But in the DRETEC, it's very simple. Whatever ports you want to open, just you type those ports and specify the IP address. That's it. You don't need to type. You don't need to create a separate policy for that. The next one is that if the customer is planning to provide, let's say that 500 kbps, I think there is a question over there. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm going to share the presentation. Once it's finished, then I'm going to share it, sir. Yeah. So for example, let's say if the customer has some requirement, like some customers, they used to give the guest access only, they want to limit the bandwidth. For example, they want to give you the bandwidth for upload only 500 kbps, 500 kbps, and for the download, it's 1000 kbps. That time, how you are going to restrict? So basically, this is, you can call it as a bandwidth management. So the bandwidth management is nothing but you can able to restrict the bandwidth, so that I don't want to give the complete bandwidth for the guest users. I can able to limit based on their IP addresses. For example, if you see here, we have a limitation. Just you can, if you want to do the limitation, just go to the bandwidth management and click on the bandwidth limit, and you can specify the IP address of your guest people. Let's say that my guest people, they are working with 192.168.20, and let's say as per my scenario, if you see there, 192.168.20.10 to 192.168.20.50. So whenever between this range, if anybody take the IP address, they are going to get the maximum bandwidth. They are going to get it as a download. You can call it as a RX. It will be 1000 kbps, which means 1 MB. For the upload, they are going to get only 500 kbps, so that I can able to restrict. So based on this feature, who is working in my office, they can able to get the complete bandwidth, but whoever comes as a guest, they can able to have a limited bandwidth. So this is one of the best feature that I can able to configure it in the DRETEC router. The next one is that if the customer planning to limit the sessions for the guest users. So if you want to limit the session in the sense, for example, when somebody comes to our office as a guest, and if you are giving the internet access, some people, what they're going to do, they're trying to misuse your internet. Like they are going to open the torrents and they start downloading the movies and all. So if you limit the session, so for example, if you see here, I'm going to limit for each user like 300 sessions is the maximum. So that whenever they are exceeding more than 300, then immediately the internet is going to drop. So this is one of the beautiful feature that you can able to configure it. The next one is that this is the regularly I am getting the issues from all my customers. People, they used to ask me this question. Issues with the dynamic public IP. For example, if you are going to take a PPPoE connection from Etisalat or Do, by default, you are going to get the dynamic public IP. So by using this dynamic public IP, you cannot configure the VPN, you cannot do the port forwarding, and you cannot access the device remotely. Why? Because your public IP dynamically will change at any time. For example, whenever you type, what is my public IP in the browser, you can able to see your public IP. So whenever you reboot or something after 1 week or 2 weeks, if you see there, automatically your public IP is going to change. You cannot get the same public IP what you are seeing now. So that is the issue with the dynamic public IP. That's why DRETEC have a solution, which is a free DRE-DDNS. It's one of the beautiful feature, guys. You don't need to pay for anything. Simply what you can do, you just register your appliance. See here the steps to register the DRE-DDNS. So the first thing is that you need to register your product. So whenever you try to log in your DRETEC router with the default IP username and password at initial stage, if you see in the down, there is a product registration. Just click on the product registration. Then after that, it will open the form for you. Then just fill the form along with your email address. Once you entered your email address, your username and the password, then you are going to receive a confirmation mail. Once you receive the confirmation mail, you just click on that. Then after that, you can log into your account. Once you log into your account, then there you can able to enable your DRE-DDNS. So whatever name you want it, you can able to do that. So whenever you've given some name, for example, I have given as a DVCom as my name. So whenever you give DVCom, it's going to give you dvcom.dredns.com. So the DNS is going to provided by your DRETEC. So which is a free for you guys. You don't need to pay for anything. And if you see here, after once you registered that, you just come back to your appliance back and go to the application section. There you can find dynamic DNS setup, and you can click on the dynamic DNS account setup. And here as a service provider, make sure that you should select DRE-DDNS Global. Then after that, the domain name, you just mention as a DVCom, or else you can just type your username and password which you created there, then click OK. Then automatically your device is going to contact the DRE-DDNS server. From there, it's going to pull your DRE-DDNS information. So you nothing to worry, guys. This is the straightforward configuration, and it's easy to enable it, because most of the people, they used to ask me this question whenever I want to configure the VPN. Unfortunately, we have a dynamic public IP, then what we have to do? So what you have to do, the first thing is that you need to register your appliance. Then after that, you can enable the DreDDNS so that you have a completely free account. You no need to pay for anything, and it's completely license free.
Yeah, one thing I just want to add you. Actually, before doing this action, we need to upgrade the firmware first. Once you open the product and install, freshly, I would suggest you to upgrade the firmware firstly. The firmware link, it's available in the dretec.com. It's available to, free to download. Can you open the link, Seshu? Then everyone can understand where it is available.
Yes. So if you want to download the firmware, guys, just open your browser. Then after that, you can type www.dretec.com. So once you open the dretec.com, just go to the support, and there you can see Dretec FTP. So click on the Dretec FTP here. Then after that, you just go down and you can select which is your model. For example, if you are planning to use like 2926 or 2927 or 3910, you can able to see all the models, guys. So you just click on that. Then after that, you just go here and click on the firmware and you can download it. It doesn't require any contract or anything, guys. It's a free tool. You can just go to directly to the Dretec website. From there, you just go to the support and select here Dretec FTP. So I will do one thing. I'm going to copy this and I'll just paste it into the chart window so that everybody can go through it. Yeah, I have done it, guys. Sir, you want to comment anything?
Yeah, that's it. Just to make sure that you have the latest firmware version in the router. That's it.
Perfect. So if anybody wants to register the DreDDNS, before that you upgrade the firmware. And if you want to know the step-by-step process, you just go to our YouTube channel, which is DVCom Technology. There you can able to see all the videos, guys. I have gone through all the step-by-step process. You can able to see how to upload the firmware and how to take the backups as well. So the next one is that if the customer is planning to establish site-to-site VPN between two locations, if they don't have a static public IP, then how you are going to establish VPN? This is the question, guys. Most of the time, people, they used to ask. So we have one of the site in Dubai and other one in Sharjah, and we want to establish a VPN between Dubai to Sharjah. How you are going to establish? So as I told you guys, it's very simple. Even if you have a PPPoE connection, nothing to worry. You just register in one side with the DreDDNS, and other side you can use the dynamic public IP. If you see here, as for my topology, there is a site A and site B. So for site A, there is a either you can use that as static public IP. In case if you are getting from your leased line, you are going to get a static public IP. In case if you don't get the static public IP, you just registered with DreDDNS in one side. In other side, make sure that if you are getting an IP address through dynamically, you can call it as a DHCP public IP. So you nothing to worry. But make sure that while you are going to configure the site-to-site VPN, the networks should not match in both sides, guys. That is very important thing. For example, if you see here in site A, there is a VLAN number 10, 20, and 30. And the customer maybe is planning to use for VLAN number 10 as 192.168.10 and 20 for 20 network, 30 they're going to use for 30 network. So in site B, you should use the different networks. If you use the same networks, the VPN tunnel is going to establish, but still the traffic is not going to pass it. So that's one of the issues. So make sure that whenever you are going to configure the VPN, in both sides, you should use the two different networks, guys. And one side, make sure that either you have a static public IP or you have a DreDDNS. In other side, it doesn't require, you just say reachability of internet connection. That's it. Either you have a dynamic or you have a static or you have a DreDDNS, it doesn't matter in other side. Simply you can able to establish the VPN. So this is your site-to-site VPN. And especially the site-to-site VPN, we are going to support the protocols, IPsec. Through IPsec, you can able to establish site-to-site VPN. And SSL, through SSL protocol, you can able to establish the site-to-site VPN and L2TP, PPTP, and OpenVPN. And here, most of the people, they are going to use the IPsec, which is very secure and fast. And I just want to mention one more thing, guys. Some people, they may ask you, one side we have a Dretec router and other side we have a Fortinet or SonicWall or WatchGuard or Juniper or any other firewall, if they want to establish a site-to-site VPN between the Dratec and other vendors, absolutely is going to support. Why? Because the IPsec is a open standard, and by default IPsec is going to comes with the two phases, phase 1 and phase 2, and make sure that encryption, authentication, and Diffie-Hellman and the password, everything has to be matched in both sides. Then automatically the tunnel is going to come. So you nothing to worry, guys. So most of the time people, they may ask you this question: we have a FortiGate in one side and other side is a Dratec. Can we able to establish the VPN? Yes, you can able to establish the VPN. Either you can use IPsec version 1 or version 2, it doesn't matter, and make sure the parameters has to be matched. So once the parameters are matched, then you can able to establish the VPN. And other thing is that the very important thing is that the networks, whatever your networks is, which is the behind the LAN, it should not be matched. For example, if you are using in site A 192.168.10 network, the same network, don't use it in site B. So you need to change it. That's why as engineers, most of the time they used to get this confused, and all the people I have seen, most of the people, they are going to use the same subnet, which is 192.168.1 network in site A, and the B also they are going to use the same subnet. That time the tunnel is not going to establish. Even if it is established, the data is not going to pass. So make sure that these are the parameters, you need to remember it. And especially in the Dratec, it's very easy to configure any kind of VPNs, guys. And next one is that in case if you have a multiple locations and you are planning to establish VPN between each and every location. And by the way, if you see, guys, I have a HQ and branch 1 and branch 2. So here what I'm going to do now, for example, by seeing this, we can able to understand I'm going to establish one VPN tunnel from HQ to branch 1, another VPN tunnel from HQ to branch 2. Then after that, people, they can able to communicate from branch 1 to HQ and branch 2 to HQ. If it is 2 or 3 locations, it's easy for me. Let's say if your customer has 10 locations and he is planning to establish a VPN connection between one branch to head office, then how many VPN tunnels they need to configure it, guys? It's very difficult. And also, if you notice here, if you want to communicate if you want to do a communication between branch 1 to branch 2, you cannot able to do it. That's also one more challenge for you. So basically, whenever you are going to establish a site-to-site VPN here, the people who is sitting in HQ, they can able to talk to the branch 1. And the people who is sitting in branch 1, they can talk to HQ. And similarly, branch 2 can talk to HQ and HQ can talk to branch 2. But between branch 1 and branch 2, there is no communication. Why? Because there is no VPN tunnel between these two guys. But in Dratec, we have a solution called hub and spoke. So through hub and spoke, what you can do, you just establish VPN connection from your branch to HQ. That's it. Then after that, you can able to add additional routes in your routing table so that you can able to talk from HQ to branch and branch to branch, you can able to talk. So in case if you want to see how it's going to configure and all, you can just go through our YouTube channel. There we have given a complete video that hub and spoke, so that it's very easy and you will have a complete features and you can able to configure it. So it doesn't require more knowledge to configure these kind of VPNs. It's very straightforward, guys. So whenever hub and spoke, you need to decide which site you are going to make it as a hub, and make sure that in the hub site, it should have a either DNS enabled or you should have a static public IP. Then after that, in the branch sites, either you have a DHCP or you have a dynamic public IP, it doesn't matter. So simply what you can do, you can able to establish branch to HQ, and from all the branches, you need to establish one VPN tunnel towards HQ. Then after that, in each branch, you can able to change your routing table according to your criteria, according to your networks. Then after that, if the branch 1 wants to talk to branch 2, all the way the traffic will go to the HQ. From HQ, the traffic will pass to branch 2. In case if branch 2 wants to talk to branch 1, all the way the information will go to the HQ. From HQ, it will forward to the branch 1. Since HQ, he know all the branches and all their networks, how it's connected and all. So this kind of technology, we can call it as a hub and spoke, and it's a very straightforward configuration and it's easy to configure in case if you have multiple locations. The next one is that in case if the customer planning to provide the VPN connection for his employees who is traveling frequently. So nowadays, you know that most due to the pandemic, most of the employees, they're working from home, and some people, they keep on traveling from here and there. So for them, what kind of VPN you are going to suggest? Because they need to access some internal resources. That's why we are going to provide the VPN connection. So basically, For example, if you see here, we have a head office. In the head office, we have a 2962 router, and the people who is sitting at home and they want to access some resources from my head office. So that time you are going to configure the remote access VPN. So the remote access VPN is nothing but especially who is working from home or who is frequently traveling. For them, we are going to configure the remote access VPN. So in DRETEC, we are going to support IPsec, SSL, L2TP, PPTP, and OpenVPN. All these protocols is going to support to establish your remote access VPN. So whatever VPN is going to comfort for you, you can able to configure that VPN. It's just a few clicks, you can able to enable the VPN, guys. That's the beauty of the DRETEC. And make sure that the remote access VPN, you need to install the Smart VPN client. But especially if you go with the PPTP in Windows users, directly, you don't need to install any Smart VPN client. You can directly, by using native VPN client, you can able to establish the you can just enter the username and password. From there, you can configure the PPTP connection. Through that PPTP connection, you can able to establish the VPN. In case if you have an iPhone, you can configure L2TP, guys. Even the Mac users also, they can use the L2TP. And SSL, you can use it. And IPsec, again, you can go with the Smart VPN client software. You just install it and enter the username and password. Then you can able to establish the VPN connection. So by default, we are going to support all the protocols without any issues. So if you see here, IPsec, SSL, L2TP, PPTP, and OpenVPN. And this is another regular question, guys. If the customer is planning to block Facebook or YouTube, what you are going to do? So it's very simple, guys. Basically, you don't require any kind of license. So simply you can create the address objects like this. For example, I have created an address object for Facebook, and I have created a YouTube, and I have created some enadu.net, some one of the newspaper. So right now I want to block these 3 websites. So simply what you can do, first you can create the address object for each and every website. Then after that, you can create a group. After creating the group, you just go to the URL filter. Then URL filter, you can select the group and select the block. If you see here, there is a block. So I'm going to select this because I have given the group name as block sites. So I selected the group and I select the action as block. Then after that, you just go to the DNS filtering. In case if you want to block your HTTPS sites, just go to the DNS filtering and enable it. And the action you just specify there as a block. Then after that, go to the rule. So basically there is a firewall rules over there. Inside the firewall rules, you can just specify the direction, LAN to WAN. Then after that, you can specify the source. In case if you want to restrict for the specific subnet, you can able to specify that. Or if you want to specify for everybody, just you can say any, and destination will be any, and service type. So here you can able to specify the protocols. Then after that, you can able to select what are the profiles you created for URL filter and what are the profile you created for DNS filter. Just select it and click OK. That's it, guys. Then automatically whatever sites you are ready to block, you are able to block, and it doesn't require any license or anything. So this is one of the beautiful feature in the DRETEC. So the next thing is that if you see here, once you created the rule, you can able to see like that. There is a URL filter applied and there is a DNS filter is applied. Then after that, the next one is that in case if the customer planning to take WCF license, web content filtering license, what is the advantage? For example, since we can able to block the website individually, but we have a one license is there, guys, that is WCF. In case if you are going to take WCF license, what is the advantage the customer is going to get? So for example, if you take the WCF license, the beauty of that, by default, already the DRETEC, they are created some groups. For example, if you see here, there is a child production, leisure, computer and internet. There is certain groups as created, and it is and under that groups, they added the different categories. For example, if you see here, child production, for example, if you see illegal drug and violence. So what these people has done, whatever websites are belongs to the violence, they put it in the category called violence. So that you no need to search in the internet which websites are belongs to violence. Simply what you can do, you just go to the web content filtering profile. And after that, you just select the child protection on what are the sites you want to block, what are the categories you want to block, just select those, then you select block. And for example, people most of the time you can see in the companies, they used to play the games and all. So in case if you want to block the games, just select the games. Then after that, if you see here, already they have done one of the nice job. For example, there is some sites which belongs to the malware, some illegal software, some botnets, And again, if you see the spam sites, hacking sites, peer-to-peer sites, and phishing and fraud sites, because we don't know. The problem is whenever the employees, they are sitting and they're trying to browse and they're trying to open different websites, guys. We don't know which website is a harmful and which website is the good. And we cannot keep on monitoring each and every employee. So that once you enable this feature, the advantage is that whenever they are trying to access these kind of websites, immediately your router is going to identify the traffic and it's going to block that connection so that you can able to protect it. So that's the beauty of this web content filtering. So that's why we always recommend our partners and end customers, please go with the web content filtering license, because it's one of the beautiful feature that you can able to enable it in your DRETEC router. So this is what up to now we discussed about the DRETEC features, guys. And you have seen that it has everything is in single box. The main thing is that it's very stable and straightforward configurations. You will not find any issues while you are going to do the configurations. And it is a all-in-one box, guys. I can say that it's a all-in-one box. It does the load balancing. It does the multi-WAN. You can able to connect the multiple internet connections, and it supports all kind of VPNs, and you can do the policy-based routing and whatever, and it supports as a hotspot, and whatever you want, you can able to do it, guys, in one box. So that's the beauty of the DRETEC. And now most of the people, they used to ask me this question. For example, when there is a layer 2 network, how the DRETEC we are going to, where we need to place and how it's going to work. Let's go and see it now. So for example, if you see, guys, we have a layer 2 switch. And this is the common issues that I'm finding every day, guys, because whenever the engineers, the partners, they used to call me and they used to ask me, sir, we have a layer 2 switch and the customer is expecting to configure multiple VLANs. Yes, you can able to configure the multiple VLANs and make sure that your DRETEC router is going to act as a gateway for each and every VLAN. Why? Because since the layer 2 switch, it doesn't do the routing, it does only the switching. So if you see here in my topology, we configured 3 VLANs, which is VLAN number 10, 20, and 30. Then after that, if you see in the DRETEC router, there's a port number 4, port number 5, port number 6. So port number 4, I kept into VLAN number 10. Port number 5, I kept into VLAN number 20. Port number 6, I kept into VLAN number 30. So as I discussed earlier, each and every port in the DRETEC router, you can keep into the different VLANs. So we can call it as a port-based VLAN. So by default, DRETEC routers are going to support port-based and tag-based. So the port-based is nothing but each and every port, you can keep it to the different VLANs. Then after that, what you can do, you can configure the gateways. If you see here for port number 4, it belongs to VLAN number 10. And the IP address is 192.168.10.1. Then after that, I have enabled the DHCP and the DNS for VLAN number 10. On port number 5, I kept into VLAN number 20, and I configured as 192.168.20.1, and I configured the DHCP and DNS. And VLAN number 30, then after that, I configured as 192.168.30.1, and I have enabled the DHCP and DNS. So that whatever firewall policies or rules, if you want to apply, you can able to apply from the DRETEC router, and which traffic has to be allowed or which traffic has to be denied. You can do either layer 7 or layer 3 filtering completely, you can able to do it here. So that this is one way of doing whenever you have a layer 2 switch. Hope everybody is clear for this. And you just terminate to the internet connection, then you can write the default route towards your ISP. That's it, guys. Then you can able to access. So whatever the routing, the netting, everything is going to take care by your DRETEC router. Even if you want, you can do the firewall policies. In case if you have a 2 internet connections, you can do it as well. So this is your solution 1 for layer 2 design. Then other solution is that, as I told you, through the single interface, we can able to carry the multiple VLANs. So if you see here through port number 4, we are going to carry VLAN number 10. Port number 4, we are going to carry VLAN number 20. Port number 4 is going to carry VLAN number 30. So in the layer 2 side, make sure that you should configure it as a trunk port. In Cisco, people, they used to call it as a trunk, and other vendors, they used to call it as a tagged port. So the port number 1 at the layer 2 switch side, you need to make it as a tagged port. That's very, very important, guys. Then after that, once you tag and sending the information to port number 4, inside the port number 4, you need to tag the VLANs. Like when the traffic coming for VLAN number 10, you need to add the VLAN ID as 10 and create the IP addresses 192.168.10.1. Then after that, you can enable the DHCP and DNS. When the traffic coming from VLAN number 20, the tag port is going to add the VLAN tag and it will send it to port number 4. When the traffic coming from VLAN number 20 and you said that use the gateway as 20.1 and enable the DHCP and DNS. Similarly for 30.1 is the gateway and DHCP and DNS, you can able to enable it. So what I'm trying to tell you guys you can able to configure it in 2 ways in case if you have a layer 2 switches. The first one is that each and every port of your DRETEC router, you can keep it into the different VLANs. So this is, we can call it as a port based. In case if you want to carry multiple VLANs information from the single interface, we can call it as a tag based. So that is the difference between port based and tag based. In the DRETEC by default, we are going to support both, but some people, they may ask you this question. For example, if you take a layer 2 switch, which is the tagging protocol, make sure that there is a 802.1q, which is the .1q protocol, which is the open standard. Mostly this protocol is going to use to tag your VLAN ID along with your data, and it will send it to the router. So most of the switches are going to support HP. You can go with the DRETEC, you can go with Cisco, or you can go with any vendor. By default, they are going to support 802.1q is the protocol which is going to tag your information along with the VLAN ID. So the next one is that layer 3 switch. This is very simple, guys. So in case if you have a layer 3 switch, you can able to do the routing and you can able to do the switching. So simply between the VLANs, you can able to do the routing in your layer 3 switch. So only the thing you can able to configure the SVI. So SVI is nothing but switch virtual interface, guys, and keep the SVI into the management VLAN. So by default here, VLAN number 10, 20, 30 is there. Let's say 10 VLAN, we can call it as a green VLAN. So you can use it for staff, and 20 VLAN, we can use it for managers. 30 VLAN, you can use it for some guests. But you need to create one more VLAN called VLAN number 40, which is the additional VLAN. We can call it as a management VLAN. Then after that, inside your layer 3 switch, enable the routing. Then after that, you can write one default route towards your DRETEC router. That's what you need to do, guys. And make sure that once you created the VLAN number 40, this port number 48, you should keep into that VLAN and configure the SVI as 40.1. From here, you are going to write the default route towards your DRETEC router. So the DRETEC IP is 192.168.40.5. So once you write the default route towards your DRETEC router, all the traffic by default, it's going to forward from your layer 3 switch to the DRETEC router. So once it reaches here, let's say if VLAN number 10 wants to go to the internet, so by default, the request will come to the switch, then switch is forwarding to the DRETEC router. So the router will send it to the internet. While it's coming back, the DRETEC router, he doesn't know who is VLAN number 10. Why? Because the router is connected with internet connection and it knows about 192.168.40. He doesn't know about VLAN number 10, 20, and 30. So in that scenario, we are going to configure the reverse routes towards your layer 3 switch. That's very important, guys. So once if you configure the reverse route, you are going to tell to the DRETEC router. Inside the DRETEC router, you will write one static route towards VLAN number 10. You are going to say, if you want to go 192.168.10 network, your next hop IP address is 192.168.40.1. So if you want to go for 20, your next hop is 40.1. If you want to go for 30, your next hop is 40.1. You need to write 3 different static routes in your DRETEC router. That's it, guys. In case if you have a layer 3 switch, then you can do the routing there inside your layer 3 switch, and you can write one default route towards your DRETEC router. This is solution number 1. And if you have a solution number 2, so you can convert this port number 48 from the switch port to the routed port. So basically, if you go with HP, or if you go with Cisco, or if you go with any other vendors, if they have a layer 3 switch, by default, they are going to support whatever the switch ports are there. You are going to convert those switch port as a routed port. Then after that, you are going to assign the IP address. So in this scenario, you don't need to configure any separate VLAN or anything. Simply what you can do, you just configure the IP addresses 192. Let's say port number 48, I have converted as a routed port. Then after that, I have assigned the IP address as 192.168.40.1. Then after that, I'm going to enable the routing, and I will write the default route towards my DRETEC router, which is 40.5. Then after that, as I mentioned to you, you need to write the reverse routes, and the reverse route is pointing to 192.168.40.1. Why we need to write the reverse routes? Because your DRETEC router, he know about only 40 network and the internet. he doesn't know about 10, 20, and 30. So for that, you need to write the reverse routes, guys. So this is how you are going to implement, especially whenever you have a layer 2 and layer 3. But one more very important thing, guys, whenever you are going to suggest your customers for the DRETEC router, make sure that you need to ask the certain questions like, what is the bandwidth, how many internet connections they have, how many users are there in their network, and how many devices are going to connect. These are the basic questions you need to ask, guys. Based on that, we are going to suggest the model so that we have a different models which is going to serve your requirement. So make sure that before you are going to suggest your customers, you need to ask these basic questions. Once, if you have a proper questions, if you ask them and you are going to build the proper solution, in later stages, you will not find any performance issues, slowness, you will not find it. So basically this complete PPT, I just prepared for the complete engineers with the real-time scenarios, guys. So these are the tasks most of the time we used to find day to day from all my customers. So now let's over to the questions and answers, and let's see that there is a couple of questions over there. Let's. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Rodel, actually, unfortunately, I have added for that. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, guys? If anybody wants to ask questions, because I believe, yeah, I'm sorry for it because I just copy the slide. Thanks for notice. Yeah. I'll change it for you. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to change it. Questions, guys. If you have any concern.
Yeah. Apart from these features, we have another centralized management solution also available.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. You can ask the questions, guys. We are ready to give answers. Yes, Joman, sir, you are trying to say something.
Yeah, we have a central management solution also. All the DRETEC products, routers, switches, access points, everything you can manage by the control cloud or on premises. We have a ready solution. So it's very good for system integrators. So you can manage all the routers, access points, that switches from the single window. So you no need to visit the location and do the configuration. So you can have a complete visibility and the manageable facility from the single portal. So it's a SaaS model and the multi-tenant capability also available. If you have any such kind of project, requirement, you can contact us, and we have demo is ready. We can help you to do the demo.
And one more thing, guys, I just want to mention, there is a ACS server is there, especially the ACS server, you can able to manage. It's a completely cloud-based solution. In case if you want to manage your on-premises devices like your switches, routers, and access points, you can take the ACS subscription. It's a license-based. Then you can able to manage your device from anywhere. Yeah, maybe because nowadays most of the people, they used to tell that we are going to manage our device from anywhere. It's like a cloud-based management. If you want to see how it's going to work, and we have a demo version is available, you guys can contact me anytime. Me or Joman sir is available, so that we will show you the demo and we will explain to you how it's going to work. And it's especially if you have
Prince,
yeah, go ahead, sir.
I think Prince has some questions. Yeah, I think here is the hand.
Here is the hand. Yes, Mr. Prince. Can you please type for me there, sir? I will answer. I will attend that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, okay, Prince, I just allow you to talk. Please go ahead. Hello, Mr. Prince.
Hello.
Yes, yes, Prince. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yes, go
You
ahead.
are explaining NAT. Could you please explain to me in detail what is NAT?
Okay, NAT is nothing but network address translation. Is it audible, my voice? Can you please mute
Yeah,
yourself?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's audible. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's going to translate from your one IP address to another IP address. For example, we have a private IP addresses range, correct? For example, in class
Right.
A, class B, class C, we have a private IP addresses, right? By using
Yeah,
this
okay.
private IP addresses, you cannot able to access the internet, correct?
Yeah, okay.
So that time what you are going to do when the traffic is going to the internet, your router, what it will do, it's going to receive the information from your internal network. Then after that, what it does, it's going to translate from your private IP address to the public IP, because your internet service provider is going to provide for you the public IP, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's going to translate your private IP with the public IP. Then by using that public IP, you can go and access the internet. So that's the purpose of your NAT. So basically the NAT is three types, which is a static NAT, dynamic NAT, and PAT. So most of the time we are going to do the PAT. PAT is nothing but one-to-many. So many of the internal users, they are trying to access the single internet connection, correct?
Yeah, yes.
So that is the PAT. Static NAT is nothing but one-to-one. As I mentioned to you earlier, so in case if you have a server which is hosted in your office, so when people want to access from outside, what you are going to do, you are going to map with one public IP with one private IP. That is called static NAT. And dynamic NAT, mostly we don't use it. That is called many-to-many. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions, guys, so far? Hello? Yes. One more question. Yes, sir. You can able to talk now. You can unmute yourself, then you can talk. I have given permission to you.
Hello. Hi, sir.
Hi, hi.
Hi, sir. As we discussed that any of the data router, if we start configuring, we need to update the firmware as first.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you remember, I just talk that I have one 2620 LN router, and when I update the router was unresponding.
Yes,
when
yes, yes. Yes. Yeah, I told you, just you can raise the RME. So you just send us an email, support@datavoice.com. Then our team is going to respond to you back. What's your good name?
My name is Murtaza, sir.
Yeah, Murtaza. How are you, man?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, before you are upgrading to the latest firmware, most of the cases I see, like for example, maybe in your router firmware is very old in the sense maybe you are referring to 2860, right? The 2860
I have 2620 LN.
You're talking about 2620 LN.
Yes.
2620 LN is also very old model. I think maybe the firmware version which it was, you need to make sure it's very old. Like in the list, you could see that one when it is released. If it is very old, for example, the current version is released on 2 years before, for example. Okay. Then after that, released many other versions, and now it is maybe 5, 6, generation after. You can see the latest one.
Yes,
so when you update suddenly to the latest one, maybe it will get crash. Or there is another reason also. When you do the firmware upgradation, you need to make sure that the connectivity is stable and no need to refresh the browser. These two things you need to make sure.
I understand.
Actually, while he is rebooting, so there is something issues happening, right?
Yeah, actually, when I'm the router is like not responding. Okay, so from that Dratec firmware utility, when I try to upload the firmware again, it's uploading. It's showing that the router is active now, but I cannot open the login page. And if I restart, it will again unrespond. If I will not restart, after like 8 or 10 minutes, it will automatically like again start blinking the lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me ask you one question. Have you followed that TFTP that firmware upgradation, or just you just use that firmware upgrade utility and push the firmware? Am I right?
I don't understand what you are saying, sir.
Have you tried TFTP method?
Yes, TFTP method I've tried. Like I have just shut down the router, press the reset button, and then I start the router and press the reset button approximate like 2 minutes.
Yeah, you follow the TFTP method, right?
Yes, I have followed that. Yes.
Okay, you can do one thing, man. No issues for it. You can just send us an email, support@datavoice.com. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any doubts, guys? Any other questions? And by the way, I just want to mention one more thing, guys. Sometimes whenever, if you feel that some people, they used to tell us like the router is keep on getting the lights and all, there is a utility is there. Okay, it's a software utility tool. Just you can download the tool. It supports in Windows versions. Through that, you can able to upload the firmware. You just power it on and power it off. Then automatically it's going to point it out and it's automatically upload the firmware. Usually, if you want to upload the firmware, you just go here. I just show you the screen. If you see here, there is a demo site over there, guys. Okay, just www.dratech.com. Just go here. In the support, if you see here, there is a live demo. In case if you want to see the console and if you want to see what are the features is available in each and every router, for example, you just go to VGAR 3910 router, and to upgrade the firmware here, just you can go to the system maintenance. And if you see, guys, I just want to mention one thing here. There is a firmware upgrade. Just click on this. You can download the firmware in case if your router is connected with the internet, just click on the check the latest firmware, or else you can download it from the Dratech FTP. Then after that, you choose the file and click on the upgrade. This is one. And in case if in the running environment, make sure that take the backup first. Go to the configuration backup and click on the backup. Then you can able to take the backup for your router. So that is very important, guys. So by using this demo site, you can able to see what are the features are available in the Dratech router. So most of the engineers, I used to suggest them whenever you want to see the console, you just go here and see it so that you can able to see what protocols is going to support, what features are there, and everything you can able to do it. You cannot able to do any configurations, but you can have a complete visibility by this. Yeah. Any questions, guys, so far? Can you please raise the hand so that I will allow them to talk? Yeah. Anybody want any comments? Any concern, guys? If you have any concern, please let me know. And we have a free Dratech training is there, guys. And every Saturday we are going to conduct the training. And make sure that if anybody wants to come for the training, just you can send. You can ask your account manager, because maybe from DBCom side, some of your account manager will be there. You try to send an email to those people. Then after that, those people, they are going to request us. So we are going to arrange the free training. And the training is completely on the real devices. And especially, we are going to explain to you how to configure the Dratech routers and what are the challenges you are finding in the real time. And mostly those scenarios we are going to show. In case if you are getting a direct projects from your customer, it's easy for you, it's good for you, you can work with the real devices. That's why I'm always recommend you that you try to push the device, try to push to Dratech routers to all your customers, so that you will get a chance to work on your real devices and real environment. In case if you are finding a challenges, me and Joman sir is here. We are trying to help you out. Anytime if you find any issues, you can just send us an email, support@datavoice.com. We are there to support you. And also we have a YouTube channel as well. You just go to YouTube channel. You just type here www.youtube.com. And you just a minute, guys. Just type here DBCom technology. Then you can able to see the complete videos, guys. If you see here, there is a lot of Dratech. Step by step we have given to you guys. So you just go through these videos and you can able to understand how it's going to work and how to configure it. And this is not like a screenshots or anything. It's directly the live videos. Means we are taking a real devices and we build these videos. Yeah. Any questions, guys, so far? Joman sir, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, it's fine. So far it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, guys. Thank you so much. And if you need any trainings or if you have any requirements, in case if you need us our presence for your meetings, then we'll be there and we'll come to you and we'll discuss about your projects. Yeah, there is a yes, Murtaza.
No, sir, it's fine. Thank you. By mistake,
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
no,
Okay.
fine. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.